Your desire to be seen as nice is making you miserable. And today, you have the permission to opt out. Ever since I touched the face of this earth, I've always been the person who is going to talk my mind regardless. And I've done that for many years. I just had a reputation of just saying what's on my mind, whether it was good or bad. And when I got to college, I shared this story in one of my previous videos. When I got to college, I remember this very day that everything shifted for me. This is the day where I said something out loud in response to one of my colleagues, and it teared her apart, right? I wasn't rude or disrespecting her, but my comment was just lack of conscience. And I could see her face looking like she wanted to disappear. And I also felt like I wanted to disappear because I couldn't take back what I said. And it clearly did a lot more damage than I intended it to do. And so from that moment on, I just became super aware of everything that came out of my mouth because I never want to be the person that's going to drag somebody down. So I went to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, which is to be Miss Nice Girl. I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm not going to say anything rude. I'm going to act polite. I'm probably going to shut my mouth most of the times because if I do say something, it's probably not going to give off nice girl. Not because I'm mean or rude, but because I'm just going to say what it is. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it like I see everybody else is doing. During that phase, and I say phase because it didn't last very long, I've never been so disrespected in my entire life. And I decided that that's not for me. And it's not that I would rather be on the opposite end of the spectrum where I'm mean or anything like that, but also I don't want to be the person who you're just going to take advantage of just because I'm nice. And that was just what the trend of niceness was getting me nowhere. So when you're out here trying to operate like, oh, you're Miss Nice Girl and you're, so considerate of everybody else, other people are taking you for somebody that is just not worth the respect. So I came back to myself, and this self though was not just saying whatever she wanted to say just because she had a mouth anymore. She still was direct, she still was very frontal, but with conscience, and sometimes understanding when is the best time to not say something and when you should actually speak up for yourself. So it's a balance between speaking my mind but also not taking your crap just because you're dishing it out. And I realized that in this society where nice is being dished out as a personality trait to be have, it's mostly geared towards women, because I see men walking around with their face looking like mine all day long, no smiles, and they're not being attacked. But if I am walking out in the street or interacting with anybody and my face is like this, I'm automatically seen as cold and mean and distant. And I get that having a smile on your face is going to make you seem a lot more approachable than people approach you. But the truth of the matter is, I have encountered so many people with smiles and they're just so fake. I would rather just not even deal with them at all. So if you're trying to fit into that pool of people, I promise you, for your own sake and for your own peace of mind and just for your own integrity, you just need to be who you need to be. You don't have to pretend like you're nice just to get people to come to you. Like, they will naturally be drawn to you just because of your personality, and I hope it will be a good one. But I'm going to share two different client stories that describe this so-called nice and just the opposite of it, and just my encounter and my experience and why I'm just not even interested to be seen as nice. I just want to be seen as me, and that's it. Client A, right? And before I start, these are clients that I've worked with in an organization. These are not clients that I've worked with under a business. So I don't control the clients that come into these spaces. I'm just merely there working, right? But this first client, very disrespectful, makes everything an emergency, even though 99% of them is absolutely not an emergency, right? Never says please or thank you, no manners whatsoever. Like, it's just a pain to work with, and I would rather just never engage at all for no apparent reason, right? That's client A. Client B is two people, so I'm going to say B1 and B2, and these two people are always saying please and thank you. They're very punctual, they're very nice to interact with, they're always conversating, always lighting you up and making you feel like you're on top of the world, and just the ideal client that you would want to work with. And one day I overheard B1 and B2 disrespecting me. To this very day, they don't know that I heard because I've never went back to them and say anything. And this is just one of the things that I've learned on this journey of just being direct but knowing when to speak and when not to speak, because the older me would have went out and attacked them. But after growing up and getting some maturity on my shoulders, I just decided that, you know what, I'm not even giving you all the time of day, because one, I was very disappointed that they gave me this facade that they were this type of people just to be disrespecting me behind my back, right? And after assessing these two categories, one we would consider nice and the other we would consider rude, this rude person, I know where I stand there. I never have to second guess and wonder what they feel. They have said it many times. They do not care about anybody but themselves. And they are frankly just very upfront about it. No sugarcoating. These next people are the complete opposite. They are the perfect nice people. They are the perfect, just the client that you want to work with that makes your day better. But they're going to go behind your back and talk about you. So is that the definition of nice that you want to fall into? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people come to us and they pretend to be nice just because they know that they can get something, right? They think that that's the expectation. That's how you should show up. And especially if you're a woman, that's how you should operate, period, point blank, right? And the moment you leave, they're disrespecting you, they're discussing you, they're competing. If they get the chance to throw you off your horse, you're going to be off your horse before you even know it. And as a woman, there is so much societal pressure on how you're supposed to act, right? And this is not even a sexist thing. It's just understanding that being closer to your authentic self would get you further ahead than just trying to be something that you're not. So if you genuinely are happy and you want to smile because you woke up this morning, because you have your family members alive, because you are saving up and giving yourself options, because you're getting out of debt if you're in debt, because you are staying out of debt if you're not in debt, and just actually living a more intentional and fulfilling life, and you want to smile about that, go ahead and smile, girl. But if that smile is coming from this pressure of you should put a smile on your face, why you're walking with this long face, or for a woman you should not look like this, or whatever people say, it's not going to serve you to feed into that narrative. And I know not everybody who is nice is like these two fake people that I just described, but it's also like, if you're a nice person, just be a nice person. And you being a nice person is not something that should be based on what another person think is nice, because then you have to fit their mold. And their mold may be walking with a smile on your face all day long just to make them feel comfortable. And what is that doing for you? You're just going to be drained, feeling like you're living for everybody else but yourself, and just not being true. So if that joke is not funny, you're not obligated to laugh. I just had to say it. And not because you're rude. If somebody's trying to take away your attention from what you're doing, you're not obligated to give it just because they ask. Like, you literally are obligated to being the best version of yourself, not being rude, not being disrespectful at all. That's not what I'm saying here. But just not trying to fit somebody's mold of what you should be as a nice person. Nobody is entitled to just having you audition for entertainment purposes for them. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing for that. But I'm just saying, like, it's just not worth it. Be yourself. Be who you need to be to get to where you need to go. And that's all that matters, right? Whether that's nice or that's just having a resting phase, but you're a good person, that is enough, my dear. All right. Well, this was just on my mind to talk about, and I wanted to come and share it because I just hear the chatter going around that people just like to work with nice people, And nice is just very subjective, and I don't think anybody should. I'm personally not, the goal for me is not to be nice, it's to be considerate, a good worker, respectful, to communicate well along, and be kind and generous. But nice, that's fake in most instances. So I'll just be myself, and if that works, it works, and if it doesn't work, we keep adjusting along the way, because this is a journey and we're investing in ourselves until we become that best version, right? And that best version on my terms, on your terms, not on everybody else's terms. So thank you so much for watching. I just thought I'd share. If you needed to hear that, please comment below and tell me, do you have any experience with this? Am I talking some foreign language? And share it with a friend who could benefit from this content. Please subscribe to my channel if you've been watching, or you're thinking about it but you're not sure. This is the sign. Subscribe. All right, and give the video a thumbs up to show me that you like it. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Alrighty, bye. Let's go make some mistakes.